Good evening, fellow lockdowners. It's the evening of day 5, and I was going to talk about alcohol tonight, but it's actually, well, it's 1 o'clock now. Is it 1 o'clock? So that means it's actually 2 o'clock because the clocks go forward. Just in case you'd forgotten, I don't know why my nose is so red. It's always red. Probably got a bit of sun yesterday, but it's still always red. Yeah, I was going to talk about alcohol, but I'm not going to now because it's 4 years today since my biological dad died. He walked out on me and my mum when I was 2.5, and never really bothered with me. And it always left a massive gaping hole in my soul and in my heart, and it was a big void that I tried filling up with all sorts. I tried filling up with drink and drugs from the age of 13. I've tried filling it up with food. I tried filling it up with all sorts. And so it's always weird. It's a bit weird because I spent like 40 years just craving my dad's love and attention. And I remember knocking on his door about 10 years ago, longer than that actually, 2006. Not seen him for 17 years. I knocked on his door, I was crying, and I was just like, do you know what, Dad? The only thing that you should be able to depend on in your life is that your own parents, your mum and dad, love you. They're the only things they love you can count on. And when one of them doesn't love you, it just like, it it can destroy your life. It doesn't, I appreciate not everybody has the same experience. I can only share my experience. But for me, it ruined my life for a long, long time. And I appreciate that's just the way that I've reacted to it, and other people don't react the same. But it just made me feel less than. It made me feel like nothing, like I'd never be good enough no matter what I did. And I think that's why I people please a lot. And try saving the world, because I'm always trying to be good enough, to be liked enough, to be loved enough. So yeah, it's funny because I've got I've got a half sister in Canada from my dad's first marriage, and I found out I had a brother in 2006 that I didn't even know existed. And I've got two half sisters that my dad brought up with his third wife, and they had a different experience of him to what me, my brother, and my older sister had, because we were just all, we don't know him. We were abandoned, and my sister today wrote a beautiful poem about my dad, which is her dad. And it's always weird because she just has this totally different perspective. And I suppose that just illustrates the worldview that we can all have. We can all have even the same parent, but yet our worldview of it will be just polar opposite of the other person through our own experiences of what we have. And I suppose that's, oh, I didn't even know that there was a plaster still on there. I had to go for jabs, hepatitis B and MMR, because I've got a job working for the NHS. Didn't even realise that was still there. Now it's got sunburn mark around it. Anyway, yeah, where was I? Yeah, so when we speak to people, we have to remember that they have a different worldview to us. So I know times when I've spoke to my sister about my dad, and I've got upset and a bit angry and stuff, and she hasn't got that perspective of him. She's got a totally different one. And she wrote a really beautiful poem to mark the 4-year anniversary of my dad's death today, and it just reminded me of the polar opposites, but also that that life is all about pain and gain. Everything's balanced, like the yin and yang of the Chinese beliefs, and they say about karma and stuff. And it just reminds me that everything is balanced. So I had so much pain from my dad not being there for me, growing up and just craving the love of him and wondering why he didn't care and why he wasn't there. But when he died, I didn't feel that pain because that's the gain what I got from the pain of not having him. There was nothing for me to miss because I wasn't used to him. He was just a stranger to me. Yet my mum, you know, I've got the most beautiful relationship with my mum. She really is an amazing soul. So the relationship that I've had with her for the last 46 years, which has just been a beautiful, unconditional, loving, you know, relationship, that's been an amazing gain in my life. However, you know, there will be a day that comes when sadly we're going to have to say goodbye to each other. You know, well, I hope for my mum's sake that she goes first. Obviously, for my sake, I'd like it to be the other way around. But I wouldn't want to inflict that pain on my mum because I love her so dearly. But when the time comes, hopefully not for many, many years. I mean, she'll be 75 this year, and she's got more energy than me. But when the time comes, the pain that I am going to feel as a result of the gain that I've had from that beautiful, beautiful friendship and relationship and um, bond is just going to be excruciating. And that's what it is. There's no pain, no gain. Growing up as an only child, um, you know, I used to think, oh, I want sisters and brothers. And there's a family that that we're close to at the minute, and there's four of them, and you know they're going through terrible times with cancer and stuff, and you know the pain seeing that what that causes them for each other, seeing the others go through that, and other friends that I've got that where there's been you know many siblings, and then to see the pain that they go through when they lose a brother or a sister, um, you know, it's excruciating. And so the gain that they've had from the joy of those relationships growing up, of having a brother and sister, it's balanced out by the pain they're going to feel when they lose them. And that's what life is. It's it's give and take. It's pain and gain. It's yin and yang. It's uh, it's bizarre. It's bizarre, but it makes sense. Um, and I suppose what's happening in the world now. It's you know, whichever way you believe it. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theorists. I can see the reasonings behind it. Um, Even if any of them conspiracies are true, the fact is we're dealing with um, a global tragedy, and it doesn't matter how it started. All that matters is that we pull together and we get through it. And I just hope that the beauty that I've seen um, on the planet, or where I live, um, in the last few weeks is extended beyond this tragedy. I hope it continues. I hope people continue to be neighbourly. I hope this continue to do good turns for people. Um, you know, anything you can do to make people smile at the minute, do it. Do it, do it, do it. I tell you what's been really good. Because not as many people are shopping for luxuries, the flowers end up in the whoopsie. Now, I don't know whether it was just because it was Mother's Day, but I managed to get tons of bunches of flowers the other day for like 60p. And I just delivered them with me shopping and when I was getting my prescriptions, and do you know what I mean? I just had them all in the boot of my car. I got about 20 bunches and I was just giving them out and you know, making people smile. Um, and that's what it's all about. That's what life's all about. It's about being there for other people and making each other smile. And that's what we need to do right now. Anyway, I hope some of that made sense. I have terrible phone addiction at the minute. I struggle with tech addiction anyway. Being a recovering addict, my addiction will manifest in another way. Just like when I put down the booze, when I put down the drugs, the booze kicked in more. When I put down the booze, the food kicked in again. Now I've put down the food a little bit. It's phone addiction. So I'll just be super glued to it all day. I'm in that many different groups Last night I decided at 1 o'clock in the morning to set up about 10 different groups for people that I'm not even, shouldn't even be in the group. So I set up loads of different groups. They're all on Facebook actually. They start with isolated and it'll say isolated parents of 0 to 3 year old, parents of 3 to 6, 7 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 18. Then there's isolated grandparents missing the grandchildren, isolated parents missing grown-up adult children, all these different groups. I sat there setting them up till 2 o'clock this morning. It took forever, and I've been trying to build them up, build the networks up, just to do something for people. But it becomes an addiction and an obsession with me, and I just can't help myself. I get absolutely obsessed, so I end up on my phone all day. And I'm just so aware that it's not good for my mental health, and I need to break that habit, but I struggle to break it, especially when I'm sat on my own, because that's my lifeline. Because I live on my own, I live on my phone, and I'm aware it's not good. So tomorrow I'm going to try my best to get up and unplug. Well, obviously I'll let my mum know I'm okay. I'll probably do my tree hug. But other than that, I'm going to try and unplug for most of the day because it's going to make me ill. Anyway, guys, I hope you've all had a good day. It's still a crazy world, isn't it? It's that, and you know what? My friend sent me, there's a video what you should watch. It's really sad but really sweet. And when I sent my friend, I sent them the poem that my sister had written because it was lovely about my dad, and just about us having a different perspective. And my friend sent me the Coldplay video, and it's called Daddy. You've got to watch the video and listen to the words, and it's it's very poignant. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed now because it is 1:15, but really it's 2:15. But I feel absolutely wide awake, and that's just because I've just been on screens all night. So I'm going to go on to Insight Timer, which is a free app for Android and iPhone, and it's got 50,000 free meditations. And the one that I've been listening to for ages now, don't know where my phone is. It is called, what's it called? Because you can listen to it too. It is called, so it's Insight Timer, and then the one I've been listening to is called The Seed of Sleep Extended Version, and it's an hour and a half. I never hear the end of it ever. It's just relaxing and easy to fall asleep to. So yeah, if anybody's struggling, there's loads on there anyway. There's loads that you can do with your kids. There's loads for anxiety. There's ones for worry. If you're new to meditation, don't be frightened by it and think you've got to sit cross-legged bloody humming or anything like that. Obviously that is a form of meditation, but so is chopping veggies and being present while you're doing it. So is reading a book, that's meditation. So is listening to music and being really present with it. There's all sorts of different forms of meditation. Walking and being very present and thinking about your feet, connecting with the earth and looking at the trees and everything, that's a form of meditation. But there's loads of meditations on there that you can learn how to meditate with. And another one what's good, there's a lady called Jennifer Pacey. I love hers as well. She does a lot of yoga nidra, which is, it's not about moving about, it's about focusing on different parts of the body and relaxing them, and that sends you to sleep as well. So hope there's some tips there on how to get to sleep this evening. I've got a funny feeling it's going to take me forever to get to sleep because I feel absolutely wired. Now I've drank a full bottle of Rubicon, not the sugary one. You know that Rubicon black cherry? It's quite addictive. I wonder, it shouldn't have caffeine in it though, should it? It was the low calorie one, but it shouldn't have caffeine in it like Coke. But I'm feeling woohoo. not woohoo like I want to go out partying, but like I just feel wide awake. Um, but I'm going to put this meditation on and try and go to sleep. And I shall see you all in the morning for Tree Hug Fest. Night, God bless. Sleep well.